Dropshipping, trading, print on demand. By 15 years old, I had tried and failed almost every single business model that exists. I was hungry to make money online, but everything I had tried had completely failed. Until one day I saw an ad by a guy that you young entrepreneurs might recognize. No, it wasn't Ty Lopez in his garage with a Lambo. It was by another OG in the space. I'll help you make $4,000 to $5,000 a month by just typing messages on your phone, the ad said. $1,000 of my life savings spent on the course, and 9 months later, I hit rock bottom. Nothing was working no matter what I tried. But now I'm sitting right in front of you at 18 years old, making over $50,000 a month in profit each month with a little known twist on the traditional SMA model that didn't work for me, probably doesn't work for you, yet this little twist is what got me success. So in this video, I want to peel back the curtain on my full story. How I went from rock bottom, nothing working, and almost quitting to now earning multiple six figures a year with a secret agency model that only I am talking about. So let's take time back to 2015. 10-year-old Andria discovering the world of video games and getting addicted to it. Anything from CSGO to Call of Duty, and lastly, Fortnite. From the ages of 12 to 14 and even 15, I put all my attention and focus into playing this video game and getting the best I possibly could at it. Even going semi-professional and competing in competitions and winning a couple $1,000s at the age of 14 and 15. Now, from a young age, I knew I was going to be very successful, and it was just a matter of time. Deep down, I knew I wanted to be financially free and take care of my family. It was just a matter of figuring out how I was going to achieve that. Just like most of you right now watching this video, I tried tons of make money online opportunities from the age of 13. I searched Google the same way as you, the best ways to make money online, and everything that popped up on my Instagram or on Google, I tried out and I thought I was gonna be the next millionaire. But I soon realized that it wasn't as easy as the internet made it seem to be. I had no idea where to start and I felt lost. I bounced around from business to business, from guru to guru, and every time I discovered a new one, I thought that this was gonna be the one that was gonna help me become financially free. Little did I know that was far from the truth. By the age of 15 years old, I had tried and failed trading, dropshipping, print on demand stores, reselling, crypto, and Forex. I thought maybe this just wasn't for me. It seemed to be too good to be true, and I would have to go back and work that 9-to-5 job that my father wanted me to work so badly. And then finally, in December of 2021, I come across an ad from Jason Capital promising that I'd be making $3,000 to $5,000 a month by just typing messages on my phone. And all I had to do was click this link and sign up. Naive 15-year-old me decided, let's do it. I opened the video, watched it until the end, and I was sold. All I had to do was gather $1,000 US. But 15-year-old me didn't have $1,000 to spend on a course. I only had $500. So what could I do? I ran to my father asking for a $500 loan. I thought for sure I'd be making at least $5,000 a month in the next 4 or 5 months because that's what the ad had promised me. But my dad wasn't too convinced. So I went back, emailed this mentor and said, I only have $500 right now. What could we possibly do? Because I really want to do this. So his sales team reached back out and said, no problem. We can do a deposit of $500 right now and then $500 30 days from now. I said, absolutely, let's do it. How was I going to get the extra $500 in a month's time? I had no clue, but I was ready to do this. And I dove into it head first, sacrificing my mental health, my physical health, and more importantly, my schooling. At this time, I was in boarding school in Spain, and all my father had asked me to do was go to the school and study as much as possible. But I said, scratch that. This is what's going to be my future. So for 9 months straight, I followed the course to a T, sending hundreds of cold emails, cold DMs, posting all the content I was being told to post, and I followed it step by step. But in the meantime, I sacrificed everything else. I would go to school at 8 a.m., come back at 5, and I would have basketball training until 7, come back at 8 p.m. and sit on my desk until 2, 3 a.m., sending cold emails, sending cold DMs, and doing everything I possibly could to land my first client. And then I'll be getting up at 8 a.m. the next morning to go back to school to study some things that I would never use for the rest of my life. And the problem is that I knew that. By this point, I already had the mindset that school was a scam, and I thought this online business was going to be the future. So day after day, week after week, and month after month, I put my all into making my social media marketing agency work. And after hundreds of hours of sending cold DMs, cold emails, and speaking to prospects, I made a total of $0. I had put my blood, sweat, and tears into making this work, and I had nothing to show for it. But it had an obvious effect on my schooling. My grades were lower than ever before, and my dad was furious. I started to think that maybe this wasn't for me. Maybe I did have to finish school, go to college, and work that 9-to-5 that my father wanted me to work so badly. And I was promised that I'd be making at least $5,000 a month by now, but I hadn't made a single dollar. I wanted to be financially free, to never go to uni, to never work a 9-to-5, but I just started to lose hope. I had sent over 4,000 cold messages just to get 5 replies, with 3 of them telling me to go fuck myself. But I didn't give up. I kept my head up and I kept on working. working. By this point, I realized that this course wasn't going to get me to where I wanted to be at, so I started reaching out to other agencies that I had seen were successful. And finally, I came across a larger six-figure agency that was doing about $40,000 to $50,000 a month, and I reached out offering to be their appointment center. They said, sure, we'll pay you a commission of how much money you make us, but you're gonna need to pay us $1,000 just so we can train you up. I thought to myself, so I have to pay you so I can then work for you. What's the point in that? But they didn't budge. They gave me an offer I couldn't refuse, and that was, I was gonna learn so much in the months of me working for them that $1,000 was gonna be worth it in the first place. So yet again, naive 15-year-old me decided to ask my brother for the $1,000, send it to this agency owner, and start working for them as an appointment center. I would be sending cold messages just like I did before, but this time for the agency, and I would book calls for the closer that they had in place. And for every sale they made with a call that I booked, I would get a 10% commission. And I did that for 4 months straight, sending as many DMs as humanly possible, booking calls, and doing everything I possibly could to learn the ins and outs of the industry. I was in Spain, and most of the people I was speaking to were in the US, meaning when they were on Instagram, I was sleeping. So I had to set alarms at 2, 4, and 6 a.m. just so I could wake up in the morning and get back to them. For another 4 months, I sacrificed everything I possibly could to learn as much as possible about this. And oh boy, did I learn a lot. I realized that what all these gurus and all these courses told you to do wasn't what these large agencies were actually doing. They would tell you to send cold emails or to outsource your work to a guy in India, but all these larger agency owners weren't actually doing that because it no longer worked. And that realization was all I needed to make this work. So I thought I was ready. I thought I was ready to embark on my own journey. So on my 16th birthday, on the 17th of September, I decided to quit and launch my own agency. But this time, it wasn't an SMA. It was a reinvented agency. I started doing the exact opposite of everything I'd been told to do over the last year. I sent no more cold DMs, made no guarantees, and I didn't charge a single dollar up front. I was the black sheep. And as a result, clients started running to me. I was no longer chasing them, but rather the opposite. I was the one deciding who I was actually going to bring on board. And within 2 months of launching my reinvented agency, I had hit my first $10,000 month at the ripe age of 16. The month after that, $20,000 US. I had no idea how I did it, but I did it. Calling up my parents and my brother saying I finally did it. Everything I'd worked for had finally come true. That was the goal I had in mind. I wanted to hit $10,000 a month since day one. And finally, I had done it. But I didn't stop there. I kept on working. I kept grinding to the point now where I make over $50,000 a month in profit every month with my reinvented agency, to the point where I can travel where I want, buy what I want, do what I want, and be completely financially free in life and spend my money on stupid things like this Rolex or this Van Cleef bracelet. More importantly, I can finally take care of my family, and I have the peace of mind that I never have to work a 9 to 5 that I don't like for the rest of my life. I finally live my dream life. I moved into my high-rise dream apartment in London, and I'm financially free, and I never have to worry about anything else money-wise for the rest of my life. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my story. From hitting rock bottom and being $1,000 in debt to my brother, to making over $20,000 a month at 16 years old in less than 9 months. I tell this story not to brag to you, but to show you that I was once in your shoes. I used to worry about working a 9 to 5 for the rest of my life, and now I'm free. I can travel the world, run my business, and just do whatever the hell I want. Maybe you're working a 9 to 5 that you hate because your boss is a dick. Maybe you're in your college dorm watching this video because you're sick and tired of your classes. Or maybe you just want to buy yourself a new car. You have to take the first step to change your life for the better. No one else will push you to take that first step other than you. And I hope that this video inspires you to take that first step. Now, if you want to follow in my footsteps and learn how I made over $59,000 in 30 days by just typing messages on Instagram so you can copy me, then go ahead and grab the link that is at the top of the description and watch that free video to learn the blueprints that I use that you can copy yourself. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.